This is Voice of Indonesia from Indonesia to the world. Listener and viewers of Voice of Indonesia, wherever you are, we meet again on our special Ramadan program, which is Ramadan Talk, that presents you insightful interviews of people from various backgrounds about fasting experience. And every Saturday, we present you expatriates in Indonesia. And today we have an expatriate from Pakistan living in Jakarta. He is a businessman and also a model. And his name is Uzan Kans. So let's say hello to Uzan. Hello, good afternoon, Uzan. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you so much for having me on your talk. And my name is Uzan Khan, as you know. I'm 25 years old. I belong to Pakistan, but from the past 1.5 year, I'm living in Indonesia. I'm being a part of a visa agency and doing modeling, and also I own my clothing brand as well. Like, these are the activities that I usually do while I stay in Indonesia.
Wow, you have your own brand.
Yeah, it's a clothing brand.
Cool.
I just recently I launched it. Yeah.
All right. So, Uzan, how's the fasting today? Day 21.
Yeah, it's day 21, the last 10 days of Ramadan. Especially like these days, the last days is really heavy and important for us in the fasting, and we have to be more. Be careful what we do in these 10 days, because it's the last Ashura of forgiveness. So we have to be, do more precautions about fasting and everything. So Alhamdulillah, fasting is going well today. So far, so good.
Yeah, although today is kind of hot. Is it?
Well, as Indonesia is, it's always hot. It's Jakarta especially hot.
Always.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, despite it's been raining these few days, I think. Okay. Anyway, before talking more about your fasting experience, could you tell a bit about yourself again? Like, what brings you here to Jakarta, Indonesia?
Oh, I should call it a destiny that brings me to Jakarta or Indonesia. Well, its story starts from 2020, by the pandemic hits. When I arrived in Indonesia, also the pandemic arrives, and everything was changed. I just come to Indonesia for just for a visit, just for a small visit. And it was pandemic, so I couldn't go back to my country. So I stay here for the 6 months.
Okay.
So that short journey becomes to my long journey. And then I realized, okay, this country is cool. I can do a lot of things in here. It's a land of opportunities. So then I decided to go back to my country and then come back here again. And I opened my company and being a part of a visa agent, and got my job, got other opportunities. That's how I got chance in Indonesia.
Okay. What a destiny, indeed. Okay.
Yeah, it's all about destiny. Yeah.
All right, back to the Ramadan, like what I said in the beginning, that it's already day 21. And like the other Ramadan, of course, the vibe must be different, especially in Indonesia, as the world's largest Muslim majority country, like the atmosphere, activities, and so on. So, what things you can feel and see during Ramadan in Indonesia? Can you share your experience?
Yeah, first of all, for the rest of my 23 years, I spent my country in Pakistan. Then I moved to Indonesia. It's totally changed. The culture, the atmosphere, and the way people greet each other here is totally different. Though it's not typically different. It's kind of identical, because Indonesia is the world's largest Muslim country by population, and Pakistan is the second largest Muslim country by population. So there's no such difference, but still, when it's about culture and atmosphere and the vibes, it's totally different. When you do sahur, it's different. When you open your fast, the food you eat especially is different. The food we have in Pakistan, you don't get much in Indonesia, because of course, again, it's the culture difference. And The experience that I faced in Indonesia, it amused me. It was really fascinating that how people do suhooring here, what they eat actually. Like I explore a lot of things in here, and it's for the good experience of my life for being in Indonesia. And like I'm lucky that I stuck into second largest Muslim country to the first world largest Muslim country. So it was a really, really good experience for me for having fasting in Indonesia, though.
Okay, what is or what are the interesting things precisely, like you said in the sahur, in terms of the menu or the tradition?
Usually when you open fast, so they sell outside. The Jalan Pinggir. They usually sell various varieties of snacks and foods over there. They have a takjil, and they have well, my favorite is like I pick up the takjil and the gorengan, the risoli and that stuff like tahu goreng and everything. Well, I'm into really spicy food, so they have chilies with that. So I usually go outside and buy that gorengan and takjil, and there's a kacang goreng, there's a drink. I really love that. Like it's really healthy for me, and so I really enjoy these kind of foods and snacks whenever I open Pasa. And in Sohor time, usually I cook my own food. So I usually cook the roti, the bread.
Yes.
But in Indonesia, you used to call roti a bread, but in Pakistan it's different. It's like roti Mariam.
Oh yeah.
So we used to call that roti. Yeah. So in Pakistan, we usually eat like that roti Mariam with omelette and chai. Chai is just like the tarik, but it's quite different taste. It includes a milk with the tea grains and with the sugar. So it's a quite difference between the suhoor food and the fasting and the open fasting food as compared to in Indonesia and Pakistan. And if I do suhoor in Indonesia, usually I told you, like as I told you, I cook my own food. If I want to eat, nasi is Indonesian national food. I don't know. It's nasi everywhere. Whatever you eat, nasi is must inside it, right?
Yes.
So whenever I want to eat something or want to try something else, you have to eat nasi with it. So I was like, okay, that's fine though. So yeah, these are the food that I really enjoy to eat in Indonesia, like takjil and the gorengan and the rendang. I love rendang. My most favorite dish of Indonesia is rendang. So there's a ibu downstairs. I usually go, and at the suhoor time, I eat that nasi rendang, and I come back to my room, and then I do puasa. That's how I start my puasa.
Nasi Padang for sahur.
Nasi padang. Yeah, it's nasi padang.
Really nice. Okay, and how about the tradition? Because usually before sahur or ahead of sahur, there are kids play the musical instruments like traditional drum called gendang to wake people up for sahur.
Yeah, I had this experience like 2 years back when I was living in this area, Kuningan. So there was a small street, and usually there was like a group of kids, like small kids, like 11 to 15, and they were like using the drums and some slogans. They were like chanting through the streets to wake people up and like do the puasa, wake up people, something like, because it was in Indonesia, so I couldn't understand that at that time. So yeah, it was a kind of fun to see, like that's how like these kids are doing activities to wake up people for sahur. It was quite impressive though for me, and it was something new for me as well, because in Pakistan until after Tarawih to sahur we organize such activities like some people playing cricket, some people playing football, like sports activities, So we don't sleep actually over there. So the roads are totally like crowded with the people who are playing sports, cricket, football, badminton, like that. But Indonesia is quite different. Like the streets you see after Tarawih or maybe after 12 a.m. it's completely like silent.
Yes.
There's no one on the streets. So that's like a little bit different that I face in here. Otherwise, everything is kind of identical.
Okay, yeah. It's silent until 3 a.m. Till
Exactly.
the
Until the
kids.
drummer's guy come
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Did it work for
Yeah.
you? I mean, they woke you up?
When I was living in Kuningan, they did. I was not angry. Okay, I was like so happy. Okay, thank you guys. You just woke me up. Otherwise, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna do my self work. So yeah.
Because it really worked for me. Much better than the alarm.
Oh yeah, of course. It's the national alarm, you can say.
Okay, so this is your second Ramadan or first?
Um, Basically, it's my third Ramadan in here
Oh, third.
because yeah, I'm here. I spent like 2020 Ramadan and 2021, and now it's 2022. So it's my third Ramadan.
Okay, third Ramadan in Indonesia and also third Ramadan during pandemic, unfortunately.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's
So,
true.
how do
It's true.
you see that Ramadan in the past 3 years in pandemic compared to before pandemic?
Well, COVID-19 changed the whole system, whole world. It changed everything. Also, it affects Ramadan as well. Like, now people are more cautious about, hygiene and everything, So, like before pandemic, it was like we don't care about anything. We just go anywhere we want without using mask or anything. When we can eat anything we want, and also this pandemic hits the vendors, the shopkeepers who open the show, doing running the business. It really affect that. But yeah, this after this like this pandemic Ramadan is quite different from the before pandemic. It's like totally different. Something is missing, but yet the world is opening again now. We are very like being alerted. We're using masker. We're using we are doing every kind of protocol to keep ourselves healthy. So it's totally different if we compare from the Ramadan before pandemic.
Yes, thank God. I
and
think,
and
yep.
yeah, there's also one thing like the itikaf, the last 10 days, we usually sit in mosque. We used to spend these 10 days in mosque. So I used to do that for the past 5 years. I was doing this itikaf, and since the pandemic, I couldn't be able to do it. So that one thing I'm really missing. And I also asked the mosque downstairs, like, can we do the coffin here? I think they say it's like no one's doing over there. So I was like, it was kind of shocking to me. So that thing I'm missing. Maybe somewhere else they are doing it, but not in my area. Thanks to pandemic.
Okay. And I
Yeah.
think at least we are now recovering. Yeah.
Yeah, at
Like
least.
now we can do Tarawih evening prayer and also later
Yeah.
Eid prayer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
And
That's good.
there's also a tradition here in Indonesia to do mudik or go back to hometown that was prohibited in the past 2 years, but now the president of Republic of
Exactly.
Indonesia has allowed it, but of course with some requirements like the booster vaccine. How about in
Yeah.
Pakistan? Any other traditions you can tell us ahead of Eid al-Fitr, let's say?
Well, as I say, like it's the same as like Muslim majority over there. Everything is similar, but yet when it's come to Eid al-Fitr, there's one thing that I'm gonna add. It's like when it's Eid al-Fitr in Indonesia. I think in Indonesian culture, there's only one day you guys celebrate Eid al-Fitr, right? But in Pakistan, we celebrate like 3 days. So that's one difference. Like we have 3 holidays over there after Ramadan, and we used to exactly like we used to spend our time to our aunt's home, uncle home, and a lot of people come to our home, and we used to make various foods, various meals, sweet dish like vermicelli, and it's same like soto. We have a same like soto stuff, but it's sweet. So it's a special dish for Eid al-Fitr. And when it's Ramadan, except one thing that I'm going to add, it's like I was kind of confused when I pray Tarawih in here because usually Tarawih is like 20 rakats, right?
Yes.
And yeah, so in here, uh, in my area, they pray 8 rakat, and then directly they go for witr. So I was like, I don't know what kind of Islam is that. I was like, because it's something new to me. Because in my country, everywhere, wherever you go, any city, you used to pray 20 tarawis, 20 rakats. Even in Saudi, I think they pray 20 rakats. So in here, it's a quite different. And I was discussing this thing to my father as well. Like people here, they pray like this. This like it doesn't matter. At least they are praying, and it's for Allah. So you're doing well. Just join them, no problem. So I was like, okay. So far, I'm adopting this Indonesian culture and feeling comfortable with it. So life goes on, and everything is fine for me in here so far.
Okay. Well, actually, some do 8, some do 20 rokat.
Yeah, exactly,
Like, yeah.
exactly,
Not,
exactly.
not all must do the 8. Well, at least like your father said, at least we're praying Tarawih now.
Exactly, actually, exactly.
Okay. And talking about the special food, you said earlier about Mariam bread. Can you tell us more
Yeah,
special Ramadan food or drinks in Pakistan?
yeah. We have it like first of all, it's kind of we have this thing there's sambosa
Yes,
and
I know.
this stuff. Yeah, so we also add this food in whenever we do sahur, whenever we break our fast, and our menu is kind of big. Like you can request your mom, today I want to eat this, so she gonna make it for you. So it could be breadcrumbs, it could be fries, it could be and if you go for the drinks, we have a like a national drink, you can say, for Ramadan. It's a sweet drink known as Ru Afza. It's like a red bottle, and it's sweet. You can usually add up with the water, with the ice cubes, and some sugar. So these are the drinks we usually drink, and like you can add up to you. It's your menu. You can up to like you can add juices. You can add this kind of drink, and we have like dahi pade. There is a like a yogurt.
Yeah.
There's a stuff like there's a soft bun inside the yogurt with the spices on it, and we usually eat that. Like it's every menu. Wherever you go in Pakistan, you can get this. Outside of the street, inside of the home, you can get these kind of foods like dahi bade, samosa, pakode, and the roti mariam as well. We eat that. So these are the foods that we have in Pakistan, not in Indonesia.
But do you eat that here in Jakarta, Indonesia, somewhere?
If there's a restaurant name as like there's any Indian restaurant or any Pakistani restaurant, usually you can get these kind of foods over there. Because I live in such area, there are Afghani people in here, and they sell these kind of stuff. Because Afghanistan is like nearby to Pakistan, so we also share the same food and culture. So it's easy for me to access these kind of foods. So whenever I want something like roti mariam or anything yogurt, I just go downstairs, go to that shop, buy it, come back to my room, and then I cook it. Maybe I made it by myself, like that.
Okay, at least there is a place to heal your longing for your country.
That's one of the reason I move on this area. That's one of the
Oh, yeah,
reasons.
yeah, yeah. That's,
Because I couldn't get the taste of, yeah.
that's in East Jakarta, right?
No, I'm in South right
Oh,
now.
South.
Before I was living in the West, Jakarta. So this is the one of the main reason that I moved to Jakarta, Selatan.
The restaurants serving Afghan or Pakistani food.
Yeah, everything you can find in here. Also there's the Ibu who sells nasi rendang. I love that. That's Indonesian food.
Okay. Now talking about Ramadan itself, what is your opinion about it? How do you define Ramadan?
Well, Ramadan itself is a month of blessing. It teaches us a lot of things. It teaches us self-control, sacrifice, and self-discipline. So this month comes only once in a year. So this month is all about respect, humble, and generosity. and it doesn't mean that only 1 month we have to respect this month. It's not like that. It's like a detoxification. It's like a month of detoxification, like whole the 11 months. I don't know what we do. We are humans, so especially in Ramadan we have to, we must practice to become a better person than before. We have to be humble. It teaches us patience. We have to be patient about everything. Like from suhoor to maghrib, like from subuh to maghrib, we are fasting. We don't do anything. We control ourselves. We control our desires. So it's one of the most essential and basic things Ramadan teaches us. So itself, this month is a teacher. Itself, this month is a king of all of the months. So yeah, itself, it brings a lot of blessings to us. So we should try more and more. Sorry, we should try more and more to provide good things in this month and learn to be a good person.
Okay, and so as a Muslim, to be a better person, what would you like to achieve in this Ramadan?
Um, yeah, to become a better person than the last year, and of course, like I want to be for this Ramadan. I'm seeking for a guidance because I'm a seeker. You can call me a seeker. So I'm looking for a good guidance from Allah, and I just try to be more polite, more humble to the other people, more open to other people. So, and one of the most best thing I want to do in my life to become a philanthropist, so I can help people without any limits. As far as I can become a philanthropist, I can help anyone I want.
Okay, Uzan, last but not least, what would you like to say to Voice of Indonesia listeners, especially in this month of Ramadan?
To the viewers or the listeners of Voice of Indonesia and all over the world, people, just want to say, like, be happy and be humble and be respectful to other people. Like, we are humans and we must respect each other. We must be patient. And if we have a hardship in our life, so that's our lessons and that's our tasks from Allah. So we must be patient for about everything. And this month of blessing, we should take advantage of this month, and we must do a lot of positive things in our life and spread positivity in our culture and atmosphere.
Okay, and since Voice of Indonesia has so many listeners from Pakistan, maybe you can say something in Pakistani language?
In Pakistani language, like, आई होप कि आप सब ठीक होंगे वहाँ पे पाकिस्तान में होंगे और इंडोनेशिया आया करें, अच्छा मुल्क है, एक्सप्लोर करें और बस. That's
Okay,
it.
thank you. How do you say thank you?
Thank you. It's like shukriya.
Oh, shukriya, like Indian
Yeah,
too.
shukriya. It's identical. Like Indian
Identical.
language and Pakistani language is identical, so it's same.
I see. Okay, Uzan,
Yeah.
shukriya. Thank you so much
Yeah, thank you so much.
for
Terima kasih.
your time. Sama-sama. And stay healthy, stay safe, and may also your career always be brighter here in Indonesia and wherever
Alright.
you are.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
happy Ramadan. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Happy Ramadan too. Bye.
Bye.